I bet you didn't know one strike could redraw the whole region's map. In a part of the world defined by centuries of complex history and delicate balances of power, a single event can act as a lit match in a tinderbox. What we are witnessing is a rapid, cascading series of events that threatens to plunge the entire Middle East into a conflict of a scale not seen in generations. The situation is volatile, with information changing by the hour. Our goal here is to provide a clear, factual breakdown of what is being reported, the immediate consequences, and the potential long-term ramifications for the region and the world. It began with a single, pivotal event. When a key leader was reportedly killed, the ripple was immediate. The assassination, which remained shrouded in claims and counterclaims, was not just the death of an individual. It was a direct challenge to a nation's sovereignty and a blow to its strategic leadership. The initial shock quickly gave way to vows of retaliation, setting the stage for a dangerous and unpredictable escalation. This wasn't a distant threat. It was a direct strike that demanded a response, and that response would not be confined to the shadows. Now, multiple countries are under attack. The initial targeted strike has metastasized into a multi-front crisis. What started as a conflict between two long-standing adversaries has now drawn in global superpowers and neighboring states, each with their own interests and alliances. The skies over the Middle East have become a complex and dangerous chessboard, with drones, missiles, and fighter jets representing the pieces in a high-stakes game where any miscalculation could be catastrophic. According to initial unconfirmed reports, the United States launched retaliatory strikes against key military and intelligence targets inside Iran. Reports say U.S. strikes hit Iran, killing top leaders within the country's military command structure. These alleged strikes, likely carried out using a combination of carrier-based aircraft and long-range missiles, were reportedly aimed at decapitating Iran's ability to coordinate further attacks and to send a clear message of deterrence. The Pentagon has not officially confirmed these operations, but the message, if true, is one of swift and overwhelming force in response to any threat against U.S. personnel or interests. Almost simultaneously, other reports began to surface. Reports say Israeli strikes hit Iran, killing top leaders as well. Israel, which has long viewed Iran's regional ambitions and nuclear program as an existential threat, allegedly conducted its own series of surgical strikes. These operations, likely utilizing their advanced F-35 stealth fighters, were reportedly focused on different targets, possibly related to Iran's nuclear facilities and ballistic missile programs. Like the U.S., Israel has maintained a policy of strategic ambiguity, neither confirming nor denying its involvement. But the coordinated nature of these reported attacks suggests a level of intelligence sharing and operational alignment between the two allies. The response was not long in coming. Iran answered by hitting targets across the Gulf. In a clear demonstration of its asymmetric warfare capabilities, Iran and its regional proxies reportedly launched a barrage of missiles and drones. The targets were not just military, they were strategic. Key shipping lanes, particularly the vital Strait of Hormuz through which a significant portion of the world's oil passes, became a conflict zone. Explosions were reported near oil tankers and offshore platforms, sending shockwaves through global energy markets. Iran's retaliation was broad and direct. In a bold move, Iran struck U.S. military bases in the region. Facilities in Iraq, Syria, and across the Gulf, which housed thousands of American troops, came under fire. Using a combination of ballistic missiles and one-way attack drones, these strikes were designed to test U.S. air defenses and prove that American assets are within reach. While reports on casualties and damage vary, the psychological impact is immense. It signals that the continental United States may be safe, but its forward-deployed forces are now on the front line of a hot war. It also struck Israeli bases in the region. In addition to targeting U.S. forces, Iran reportedly launched missiles toward military installations inside Israel itself, as well as suspected intelligence outposts in the surrounding area. This marks a significant escalation from the long-running shadow war between the two nations. For years, their conflict was waged through proxies, cyber attacks, and covert operations. Now it has broken into open, state-on-state military confrontation. Israel's multi-layered air defense systems, including the famed Iron Dome and David's Sling, were activated, lighting up the night sky as they attempted to intercept the incoming barrage. The fallout from these exchanges has been immediate and widespread. Suddenly, 6 Gulf states are now threatened by strikes. Nations like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan find themselves in an incredibly precarious position. These countries host major U.S. military bases, making them potential targets for Iranian retaliation. Their own capitals, critical infrastructure, and economic hubs are now within range of Iranian missiles. For years, they have walked a tightrope, balancing their security alliances with the West against the geographical reality of sharing the Gulf with Iran. That tightrope has now snapped. Diplomatic embassies across the region are threatened too. These sovereign compounds, which are supposed to be sanctuaries under international law, have become potential flashpoints. Many Western and allied nations have issued orders for non-essential personnel and their families to evacuate. The embassies that remain are operating on skeleton crews, fortified behind concrete barriers and increased security. The closure of diplomatic channels makes de-escalation even more difficult, as the primary means of communication are severed at the exact moment they are needed most. Beyond the immediate military and diplomatic crisis, the global economic impact is profound. Major energy sites and oil facilities face threats. The Persian Gulf is the world's energy artery. Refineries in Saudi Arabia, LNG facilities in Qatar, and the vast network of pipelines and terminals that fuel the global economy are all potential targets. Any successful strike on these facilities could send oil and gas prices skyrocketing, triggering a global energy crisis and potentially tipping fragile economies into recession. The world is watching the price of crude oil not as an economic indicator, but as a barometer of this escalating conflict. But the most devastating cost is the human one. Around 300 million people now face danger across the region. From the bustling metropolises of Dubai and Tel Aviv to the ancient cities of Baghdad and Damascus, ordinary civilians are caught in the crossfire. The threat isn't just from direct missile strikes. It's the disruption of daily life, the fear and uncertainty, the closure of airspace that strands travelers, and the potential for food and water shortages if supply chains are broken. This is a humanitarian crisis in the making, unfolding across a dozen countries simultaneously. So what is the strategy behind Iran's widespread retaliation? The goal? Iran may be trying to regionalize the fight. By striking multiple countries and targets simultaneously, Tehran is demonstrating its reach and resolve. This strategy serves several purposes. First, it complicates the military response for the US and Israel, forcing them to defend against threats from multiple directions. Second, it raises the stakes for everyone involved, especially the Gulf Arab states who have been normalizing relations with Israel. The ultimate objective appears to be political. Iran's strategy is designed to force political pressure on other governments and allies. By making the cost of conflict painfully high for its neighbors, Iran hopes to fracture the alliances forming against it. The message to the Gulf states is clear. Hosting U.S. bases and normalizing ties with Israel comes at a price. Tehran is betting that the threat to their economic stability and domestic security will compel these governments to pressure Washington and Tel Aviv to de-escalate, effectively using regional chaos as a diplomatic lever. But that strategy is a monumental gamble. It risks causing a wider regional war. By attacking U.S. forces and sovereign nations, Iran may be crossing red lines that trigger a much larger, unified military response. A regional war would be devastating, drawing in not only local powers but also global players like Russia and China, who have their own strategic interests in the Middle East. The conflict could spiral out of anyone's control, leading to a prolonged and bloody confrontation with consequences that would be felt for decades across the entire globe. The bottom line, it's chaotic, fast-moving, and dangerous for civilians. This is a fluid situation where facts are contested and propaganda is rampant. Disinformation campaigns are likely being waged by all sides to shape the narrative and justify their actions. For those on the ground, the immediate reality is one of air raid sirens, emergency alerts, and the constant, nerve-wracking uncertainty of what comes next. The fog of war is thick and clear. Verified information is the most valuable commodity. For anyone in the affected areas or with plans to travel there, the official guidance is unequivocal. Everyone should follow official travel alerts issued by their respective governments. Many nations have now issued do not travel advisories for the entire region and are urging their citizens to leave immediately if they can do so safely. Commercial air travel is being severely disrupted, with many airlines canceling flights and rerouting to avoid the conflict airspace. It is critical to monitor official safety alerts and guidance closely. Register with your embassy or consulate. Follow their social media channels and public announcements. Understand the emergency procedures for your location. Know where the nearest shelters are and have a plan in case of a sudden escalation. In a crisis of this magnitude, relying on verified official information can be a matter of life and death. The situation remains on a knife's edge, and the world holds its breath, hoping that diplomacy can find a foothold before the region tips further into the abyss.